All right, we want to bring in now a man who's helping to call tonight's game in South Florida in what Kenny Smith thought was sort of a covert move to get some time on the courtside. Charles Barkley is with us from TNT. He'll be with Kevin Harlan. And
what
Reggie
are you
Miller.
doing, Chuck?
Charles,
what are you trying to do
what's going
right
on?
now?
What's happening?
I'm sorry, I had some sand in my ear from down on the beach today.
Well, you know what? I'm still not feeling this whole you in South Beach and I'm there.
I tell you what I do. Listen, I tell you what, since I'm such a great friend, I love you, Ernie and Ken. I love all you guys. I'm going to bring you some sand back from the beach.
Well, you know what? Nah, I'm going to leave it alone, man. You at the beach, all right. We'll call you a beach.
Charles, this is your game. We're all anticipating one thing. It becomes something else. So give me your thoughts on Pop resting all of these guys, sending them back home.
Well, I think he knows what's waiting him when he get home, and those are Memphis Grizzlies, the second best team in the Western Conference. Hey, listen, Pop understands he's got an older team. This is going to be 4 games in 5 nights. They were not going to win the game tonight anyway, not 4 games in 5 nights, because they have a much older team. Miami hasn't played since Saturday night, so they're going to be well rested, and they probably want to send these guys a message just in chance they play in the finals. So they were not going to win this game tonight. But I understand Coach Pop. He said, hey, our next game is against the Memphis Grizzlies, who, listen, I think Oklahoma City is the best team in the West, but I think the Memphis Grizzlies are the second best team in the West. So I think he's looking at the big picture with his team.
So, Chuck, you think if this was the Charlotte Bobcats, you don't think that he would have sent these guys home? You think it had a lot to do with also with the Miami Heat?
Well, I think if it was the Charlotte Bobcats, they have a much better chance of winning tonight. But no, well, listen, Pop has done this. He rests his guys. He knows they're good enough. Listen, they're one of the 3 best teams in the Western Conference. They're one of the 3 best. They know that it's going to be that way. They're going to be in the semifinals in the Western Conference. I think seeding is going to be very important for his team this year. I think that's what he's thinking about also, because they can't beat Oklahoma City and Memphis. So I think having one of the top seeds are going to be really important, because you don't want to have to go through 2 of those beach teams, to be honest with you. He understands that. Listen, this team, they've had one of the greatest runs. They're a model franchise. But at their age, with Tim Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker, at their age, they're not going to win a 7-game series against the Spurs and Memphis. So I think having home court for them is going to be really crucial this year.
Hey, Charles, let's talk about the home team for a second. How does the Big Three and the rest of Miami take this game tonight knowing that the other Big Three is not playing? Do they jump on them early, or do they kind of go through the motions?
They don't go through the motions at home. They play totally different at home than they do on the road. They're averaging the league high at home, and they play at a much faster pace. Listen, I am so confident right now, Kenny. I'm going to pick out listen, we got the Eastern Conference Finals this year. I'm going to pick out some good spaces on the beach, because the Miami Heat are going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals for sure.
Well, I would like to know what your pregame ritual was, since you got it all. But since this game is a no-brainer, what was the pregame ritual for you, man? Since I wasn't able to be sitting next to you tonight, what happened today?
I got a manicure. I got a massage, a deep tissue massage with the rocks and everything. And I got a nice little turkey club with French fries out by the pool. Chuck had a stressful day down here in Miami Beach.
Oh, man.
Hey, Chuck,
don't they look good?
Oh, you look great.
Well, Chuck, we know you know it's nice to be pampered. Did you know, and this is reported by the South Florida Sun-Sentinel, that when these players were sent home from San Antonio, it wasn't on a private jet. These guys apparently flew Southwest, so it wasn't in the lap of luxury on Thursday. Can you see Tim Duncan in that middle seat?
Let me just tell you something. I have been to San Antonio. Great food, great big women, but you can't get no direct flight there. So I'm pretty sure it was Southwest. And listen, as I know Southwest, it probably stopped in Dallas and Houston also. They make like 7 stops. The Southwest, you can get one ticket on Southwest and see like 4 states. It stops in 4 states. And because you don't change planes, they call it nonstop.
Chuck, but if you were one of these guys, can't you rest in? Oh, I guess you can't rest in South Beach, can you? It's better off if those guys go back to San Antonio.
The cool thing. Well, I think to be honest, what they were doing was, because they played last night, so they got a whole day today. They're going to get the whole day tomorrow. So I really think they probably could have flew to Miami and flew home with the team, but would have killed all day today. And then by the time they get home late tonight, they would have slept all day. So, listen, they got 2 free days at home. Listen, you got to give it up to them.
Yeah, and all the manicure and massage appointments were all booked up.
Life's a beach.
So they didn't have that. Before we let you go, Chuck, the Nets and Celtics fight. We got some fallout from that today. Rajon Rondo was suspended for a couple of games without pay. He said thought he was doing the right thing, that it was a malicious hit by Chris Humphries on his teammate Kevin Garnett. We had Wallace fined $35,000 and also Garnett $25,000. So what did you think of that beef?
Well, as I've been telling you, man, I think the Brooklyn Nets might be the second best team in the Eastern Conference. They got it all. And I'm starting to see, I said last week, well, this week when we had them, the big key to that team is going to be Andre Bloch. He got a chance of being the best player coming off the bench, the best big man. I mean, there's some other guys who are great scorers, but if guys who can come in and play well, Andre Bloch, I think he had 11 and 13 last night. You know, he's been in a bad situation down there with the Washington Generals for the last few years. He around some great players now, great guys. He's got a very good coach in Avery Johnson. That team can be dangerous. I'm not sure they can beat the Miami Heat, but to me, just looking at studying these teams, that was an impressive win. Because I was wondering were they going to have a letdown coming out of that Knicks game. That was a great game we had Monday night. But even though when they started that fight, they were up 15 points on the Celtics. And I think right now you can say the Celtics, it's still early, but they've probably been the most disappointing contender in the NBA so far this year. We thought they were going to be the second best team, but they have not played well. They haven't played with great energy. But let me give Kevin Garnett some advice. Gerald Wallace is on the list. And Kenny know what list I mean. Guys you better not grab.
Yeah,
he's like Kenyon Martin, Deshaun Stevenson, and Zach Randolph, and Gerald Wallace. There's a list of guys, Vince, we talk about, unless he says something about your mama, let it go. And, a lot of guys might be bluffing, but Gerald Wallace is on that list. Yeah, let it go.
He's a real tough guy.
He's a real tough guy.
Right. Hey, Charles, thanks for being on NBA TV. You know, we really appreciate it. We appreciate it.
I got a great place for us to get manicures, pedicures,
I can't wait. And you notice they didn't grab Reggie Evans either. He's on that list, too.
Oh, yeah.
Reggie didn't get suspended.
You're right. Reggie Evans on that list, too. I'm sorry, Mr. Evans.
Hey, Charles, I appreciate you giving me love on Monday nights. You watched me on NBA TV on Saturday nights. I appreciate you on Saturday.
I watch Game Time every night to get all my highlights and scores from Mr. Cellini, Mr. Kamler, Rick Kamler and Matt Weiner, Brent Barry, Kendall Gill, D. Scott. I love you guys, man.
Appreciate it, big fella.
Love you too.
All right, man.
Have a great call.
For yourselves over there.
Bring us back some sand. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
South Beach. I'm out here, man, freezing.
All right.